Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes has just won one of the biggest individual awards in English football, but there is a twist. Before Bruno Fernandes was announced as the winner of the PFA Men's Player of the Year award, he had to vote for another player. And surprisingly, he chose an Arsenal star. Yes, you heard that right. The Manchester United captain admitted that he voted for an Arsenal player to win the very award that he eventually took home himself. So who did Bruno vote for? He refused to reveal the name, but his comments about Arsenal's incredible season have already got Manchester United and Arsenal fans talking. And there's even more to this story, because while Bruno was celebrating one of the greatest individual achievements of his career, Manchester United was still dealing with the disappointment of their terrible opening day defeat to Hull City. So how did Bruno go from celebrating an individual award to admitting that United are already 3 points behind where they wanted to be? Let's break it all down. Bruno Fernandes arrived at the Manchester Opera House on Tuesday night alongside his wife Ana Pinho, expecting a special evening, and it certainly became one. The Manchester United captain was named the PFA Men's Player of the Year after producing an outstanding 2025-26 campaign. His numbers tell the story. Bruno finished the season with an incredible 21 Premier League assists. That was enough to break the Premier League assist record, but it wasn't just about the numbers. His performances were a major reason Manchester United finished third in the Premier League and secured Champions League football. Bruno was the heartbeat of the team, the creator, the leader, the player United repeatedly turned to when they needed something to happen, and now his individual performances have been recognised by his fellow professionals. But there was an interesting problem. PFA nominees are not allowed to vote for themselves, so Bruno had to choose another player, and when asked who he voted for, the Portuguese midfielder gave an answer that nobody really expected. He said he voted for an Arsenal player. Bruno wouldn't reveal the name, but he made it clear that Arsenal had earned his respect. He praised the team for an extremely successful campaign, not only in the Premier League but also in European competition. And there was one achievement that particularly impressed him: Arsenal's run to the Champions League final. Bruno explained that reaching the final and remaining competitive for so long was something Arsenal should be proud of. And honestly, that tells you a lot about Bruno Fernandes, because despite being Manchester United captain, despite playing for one of Arsenal's biggest rivals, he was willing to recognise the quality of another team. But there's one question that fans immediately started asking: who was the Arsenal player? Was it Bukayo Saka? Was it Martin Odegaard? Was it Declan Rice? Or perhaps another Arsenal star? Bruno isn't saying, and that mystery is likely to continue for some time. But there's something even more interesting. The player Bruno voted for didn't win. Bruno Fernandes did. That means his vote ultimately made no difference to the final result. And when his own name was announced as the PFA Men's Player of the Year, Bruno admitted that it was a very special moment. He also reflected on his record-breaking number of assists. Interestingly, Bruno revealed that he didn't spend the entire season obsessing over the record. At first, he wasn't thinking about it too much, but as the season progressed and people started talking about the possibility of breaking the record, it became harder to ignore. And Bruno gave credit to his teammates, especially the strikers, because an assist means somebody else has scored. And for Bruno, that is what makes the achievement so special. He wasn't simply collecting personal statistics, he was helping Manchester United score goals. He was helping the team win games, and that's an important distinction, because Bruno made it clear that football isn't an individual sport. He pointed out that players don't play like tennis players, fighting only for themselves. Football's different. You play for your teammates, you play for the club, and most importantly, you play for the fans. That mentality is exactly what Manchester United supporters expect from their captain. But then came the difficult question: what about Hull City? Because while Bruno was standing on the red carpet celebrating the biggest individual award of his career, Manchester United had a serious problem on the pitch. United had started the new Premier League campaign with a disappointing 2-0 defeat away to newly promoted Hull City. It was Michael Carrick's first Premier League game as permanent Manchester United manager. And it was not the start anyone at Old Trafford wanted. United had plenty of possession, but possession didn't turn into enough danger. Hull were more effective. They punished United, and by the final whistle, Manchester United had left with 0 points. For a club with Champions League ambitions, that is obviously not the kind of start you want. And Bruno didn't hide from the reality. The United captain admitted that the team were already 3 points behind where they wanted to be. That's a brutally honest assessment. But Bruno also refused to panic. He knows the season is long. One defeat does not decide an entire campaign. And United now have an immediate opportunity to respond. Their next match is at home against Ipswich. And for Bruno, the message is simple. Manchester United need to win. They need to put those 3 points back on the board. And they need to show that the whole defeat was a setback, not the beginning of another difficult season. This is where Bruno Fernandes becomes even more important, because winning the PFA Player of the Year award brings pressure. Being Manchester United captain brings pressure. Breaking the Premier League assist record brings pressure. And now, after losing the opening game of the season, the responsibility becomes even greater. Bruno himself admitted that having responsibility isn't always easy, but he would rather have that pressure than have none. And that mentality could be crucial for United, because Manchester United cannot afford to spend weeks feeling sorry for themselves. They have Champions League football ahead, they have major expectations, and they have a captain who has just been recognised as the best player in the Premier League by his fellow professionals. Now he has to prove that leadership on the pitch. There is also a fascinating subplot surrounding Bruno's Arsenal vote. Imagine if the player he voted for had actually won. We would be talking about Bruno choosing an Arsenal star over Manchester United teammates and every other nominee, but instead Bruno himself walked away with the trophy, and that makes the story even more interesting. He respected Arsenal's achievements, he admired their European run, but when the votes were counted, the award belonged to Manchester United's captain Bruno Fernandes. And for United fans, there is a bigger message here. The club finished third last season. They returned to the Champions League. Their captain broke the Premier League assist record, and now he has been named PFA Player of the Year. Those are signs of progress, but progress can disappear quickly if United don't perform consistently. The whole defeat is already a warning. The next match against Ipswich therefore becomes extremely important, not because the entire season depends on one game, but because Manchester United need a reaction. They need intensity, they need goals, they need leadership, and they need Bruno Fernandes to once again be the player who makes things happen. So while Bruno celebrates becoming the PFA Men's Player of the Year, the real challenge begins now. Can he use this recognition to inspire Manchester United? Can he lead Carrick's team back to winning ways? And most importantly, can United turn their disappointing start into a successful season? One thing is certain. Bruno Fernandes has already shown that he can produce extraordinary numbers. He has already shown that he can carry responsibility. And now, as Manchester United captain and PFA Player of the Year, the expectations are even higher, and perhaps the most interesting question of all is this. Who was that Arsenal player Bruno Fernandes voted for? Let us know your prediction in the comments, and do you think Bruno Fernandes deserved to win the PFA Player of the Year award? If you are a Manchester United fan, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to United Active, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the latest Manchester United news, because the season has only just started and there's already plenty to talk about. Manchester United have to respond. Bruno Fernandes has to lead, and the next chapter starts against Ipswich. Stay tuned, because this season could be one hell of a ride.